Hello, everybody. Welcome in and welcome to your source for motorsport, the Automotive Sports Network, round 3 of the NASA Rallycross Contenders Championship in 2026A at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. Brian Sawyer in the production truck alongside me. My name is Josh Mertz. Gary Linux and Barking Dogs. We're off to a great start already. All right, Mr. Barking, talk me through Charlotte, because I wrote in my track guide, you have to not be afraid of the walls, especially in the first 2 turns of this track.
Absolutely, Josh. Yes, you are right. In Charlotte, you cannot be afraid of any of the walls here if you want to be quick. You start off, it's a 0.83 mile layout. You start off right here in this dirt section where you basically throw the car sideways and try and grab that curbing on the inside and just ride all the way along. You go out, you come back in, hit the jump, and if you're far off that wall, you're either hitting the outside wall or making some mistakes. But it's one of my most favorite tracks, Josh. It's kind of a nice dance. You get the car in. Once you get in a nice rhythm, you get fast, and if you get out of that rhythm, it's a little hard to get back in it. But super fun track that we're at tonight.
You took the words out of my mouth in regards to rhythm and finding your flow, finding your groove, whatever it may be. Especially this dirt section here on left side of the picture. There's multiple different lines in that hairpin, and we will see those throughout the night, whether it's the Contenders show here or for the NASA Rallycross World Championship coming up in about an hour or so. Before we kick it forward to qualifying for Contenders, Mr. Sawyer, take us through both upcoming programming and the points coming into round 3.
Absolutely, Josh. So coming up next week on ASN, we got same time, same place as you are right now, the NASA Rallycross Contenders Series at Daytona Short. For both the Contenders and the World Championship, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be you and me once again. It shows that there's an off week. We're going to have an ASN special event in there. I think we're going to do another purge on the following Monday. We're just off for Easter week. Cross Car Series originally was going to fall on Easter, but I said an off week, so we're going to keep the off week. We'll probably do something fun though, so come back next week and you'll have an announcement for that. And then we're going to take a look over at points coming into this evening. Kevin Garcia, top of the table with 71 points, followed by Kevin Boland with 62. Matt Grove, Garth McDade, Clinton Funk, Darren Canfield, Josh Mertz, Joe Pascucci are our top 8 in Contenders. Kieran Lifflander and Zach Goddard do not count. They are supercar drivers. Going over to the team points, KLR Pink Fury, Control Z Racing, Slapex powered by TWRS, JC Academy, KLR Blue Thunder, Mertz Racing Technologies, Slapex Racing VW powered by TWRS, and that is it for teams. Over in the manufacturer, we got Subaru, Ford, VW. VW's got 20 points.
At least it's not a mystery car or 0 points. Last thing before we head to qualifying is I'm taking a look off monitor at the stat book for the Contender split, and I wonder this, Mr. Sawyer, because a big storyline for the World Championship is nobody has made 3 wins off the rip of the first 3 races of the season. Kieran Lifflander has that opportunity. Believe it or not, it has never happened in the last 14 years of the championship, but it is a different story in the entry-level split of NASA Rallycross. Cody Crosgrove, Matthew Lindy, Josh Darnell, Zach Goddard, Octavio Rondoletto. The last 5 seasons, 5 Contenders champions, all have won the first 3 or more of the races of the championship. So does Kevin Garcia continue that trend tonight?
I think he's got a good chance of it. He's running a 43.8 in practice to a 43.9 to Darren Canfield, so it's pretty close, but he's up there. That's a pretty quick time. Getting in the 43s is it's good. It's a good time to happen here. Not the fastest. We'll probably see some 42s tonight in the supercars, but for a Contenders driver, 43.8 is a great time.
Before we roll for qualifying, just a reminder, cameras all season on ASN, out of the Track Car Series, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. That's the wrong button. Right button. Facebook.com/WSimCams. Andrew Cardinale IV and team, always having wonderful cam reviews. First car on track, Clinton Funk in the 122, snaking his way through turns 1 and 2. Easy to drop the left rear off the jump and have a really gnarly time. Turn 4, tricky. If you push too hard, you'll end up on those curbs on driver's left. And turn 5, the blind left-hand corner. I always thought to myself, Brian, you want to aim towards those tire walls on corner entry, and the car will guide its way around. And then this sweeper, multiple lines. We'll see these guys in the World Championship running way off onto the paint near the grass.
Yeah, it's one of these tracks where you definitely just have to trust the car, and it's a hard thing to do, especially on this track. You just throw it in and you see the wall coming and you're like, is it going to grip? Is it going to grip? You just have to trust the car is going to grip. Clinton Funk scraping the wall there. Should be fine. Shouldn't give him any issue, but that's how much you have to trust the car.
As Clinton Funk set the benchmark for the moment, then it was Garth McDade in the 111. We'll have Joe Pascucci in the 015 running his lap across the line. Let's see what the man from Michigan will do. The first lap doesn't count. The second lap is not going to count either. He has crashed in turn 1. Kevin Balland to P1 for the moment. Can Canfield usurp his teammate? He does. 43-6-2-1. And the only car not to set a lap as Matty Grove has crashed on his second lap in turn 1. For the former series champion, he ran a 44-2-06. Now, where is Kevin Garcia? He is not on track yet in the 505, the man from New Mexico. As we ride on board Darren Canfield for KLR Blue Thunder, trying to replicate that line. Yeah, trying to replicate the line that Kieran does.
Yeah, if you don't throw it hard enough out there, you're not going to get there, and it will definitely compromise your line. It's either you know how to do it or you don't. It's not really a try and race kind of line. He's going to hit the outside wall here, invalidate this lap, and Kevin Garcia is getting on track.
Let's ride on board with our points leader in the contender split for a lap here in Charlotte.
Josh, I believe he just ran what we like to call a banker's lap there, where you don't go to the outside, just stick it to the inside and make a good lap happen. Good
and
enough,
that is
too,
P1 by 0.8 of a second on the banker lap for the championship leader, the reigning NASA Rallycross Futures champion. Made the step up to the contender split this season, looking good. And we talked about this sweeper. You want to utilize the curb, utilize the paint to get the car to rotate. And then
He's going to throw it wide.
No, he stayed to the inside. And do not touch the wall. Did he touch it? Touched it twice. Unsure if that's going to count as a 0x from the sim. It'll invalidate the lap if the sim says you hit the wall, Brian. Final corner. Will he improve? 43-1. He's just having fun with these guys now. He's got one lap left, but everybody else finished their qualifying run.
Yeah, generally on Charlotte, your first lap out is going to be your fastest. I think it has to do with just how loose the dirt is on turn 1 and 2. You send it and you start sliding, and by lap 2 and 3, you're starting to grip up a little bit more. And I think the grip just kind of actually slows you down when you throw it in sideways.
That is the third consecutive seeding round victory for Kevin Garcia. Final corner, and will he improve this time with the first lap being the fastest? Unsure. 42.9. So he matches his fastest lap, and that will be pole position for heat number 1 for Kevin Garcia in the 505. Canfield, Balland, Pascucci, Grove, McDade, and Clinton Funk, the remaining qualifying order, as we head to heat number 1 in Charlotte. Clinton Funk, Matty Grove, Kevin Bolland, and Kevin Garcia. 4 cars, 5 laps, 2 jokers. We didn't go over the format like we're really good journalists, Mr. Sawyer. 5-lap heat races, joker lap twice. The winner will transfer. Everybody else goes to the semifinal, another 5-lap round. The top half will advance. 1 car will not make the feature race tonight. 10 laps, 2 jokers. And we'll talk about what happens later on. Heat 1 in Charlotte. Green flag. Off the line. Garcia had a great jump in the middle. Wisely backs out in the 505 down to turn 1. Bolland a little bit loose in the rear. Saves it side by side with Funk. Beginning the first lap here in Charlotte. Funk gives him a nudge from the 122 to the 49 and into turn 1. Such a tricky corner to make a move. Off the start, here comes Garcia. Side by side former champions. Matty Grove, Clinton Funk, and Matty gets nearly turned by Funk in the 122. Bolland continues to lead in the 49. As Clinton Funk's sympathy jump has began tonight, Mr. Sawyer, let's take a look.
Oh, he pulled the Colette Davis.
Over on the jump for the 122. Matty Grove was saved by Clinton blinking out in that second corner, and Kevin Garcia already utilizing the paint on the outside of the sweeper. Grove jokers at the end of the first lap. Bolland leads.
I was going to ask you that if Funk was flickering for you as well. Seems like he was. All right, I saw it save Matty there. Just the disappearance of the car allowed Matt to take the line he needed to take.
Otherwise, they were both going to end up in that tire barrier, and it was not going to be a fun time.
Kevin Bolland putting on a good show, keeping the pace away from Kevin Garcia. Neither of them has taken a joker lap yet. About a second separates the two.
This is crucial because these two are top 2 in the championship. So for them to be seated in the same heat race, the winner of this heat race gets 2 bonus points, pole position for the feature, and instantly straight through to that feature. So Bolland a little wide in turn 1. Was that Garcia exiting the joker in the 505?
Yes,
it was. So if I'm Bolland, I would take this heat race win to get pole position. Turn 1, P1, super important at Charlotte.
Yeah, it's super important here. You want to be on that inside, especially for this track. Though, if I'm Kevin Bolland, also, I'm responding right now.
You have to.
Put the interval up on screen. I don't think he has it. He's lost a lot of time. Kevin Garcia 1.6 behind him. Kevin Bolland needs to stay out now, but he goes in. It's about a 2-second delta.
Kevin follows
He's going
him.
to come out right. Oh, yeah, that's 2 jokers. Okay. That is right. So Kevin Bolland needs to push and get 2 seconds and maintain 2 seconds. He's not going to do it in the
49
like that, though.
No, the pressure might get to him. Around he goes. Garcia avoids him.
Oh, way to go, Kevin Garcia.
That will be a semifinal run for the 49 of Kevin Bolland. And we talk about contenders' mistakes, Mr. Sawyer. And right there, I think the 49 out front. Great avoidance for the 505 of Garcia. Kieran Liftlander's in our chat. Team owner of the 49. All he says is bruh.
That's all you can say sometimes.
You got to think, though, that the reigning world champion, Kieran Liftlander, has to condition his drivers to know how to handle pressure. And it's just interesting to see white flag for Garcia. He ran the left rear on the paint. It is so sketchy going into turn 1. For the fastest of the fast, Brian, you'll agree with this. You just have to completely send it, ignore the start gantries there, but sometimes you hit it, and it's not a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not always pressure, though, on that turn 1. Coming out of the Joker, especially, the Joker's exit's going to be much faster than you're regularly used to. And you got to throw the car in a little different. You throw it in the wrong way, and you're going to end up in that outside wall.
So final corner for Kevin Garcia. It will be a second pole position of the season. Garcia wins Heat 1. He'll go straight to the feature race. Matty Grove, Kevin Bolland, and Clinton Funk to the semifinal. I can't help but be happy for Matty Grove's sake that Clinton had some blinking issues there, because they both would have crashed in turn 1. And Balland has crashed.
He's having a hard
At
time
the checkered
getting across
flag.
the line. There he goes. He got it. It took him a minute, but he got it.
As we head to heat number 2. Garth McDade, Joe Pascucci, and Darren Canfield. And we talked about it last week. The fields for Contenders are a bit smaller, right? We don't want to have the grids inverted where Contenders is the bigger split. But if you'd like to join us, nasasimracing.com for any and all information. And you could join us as well as we go green for heat 2. Good jump for McDade against his teammate Canfield. Pascucci in third. Rounding the final corner to begin the first lap proper. As Canfield to the inside on McDade, the 023 and the 111. Pascucci hanging out in the only Volkswagen in the field aside from Eddie Boyles in the World Championship. McDade runs a little wide, Canfield couple car lengths away. Into turn 5. Multiple different lines. You don't want to do what McDade does into the wall. His teammate follows him. Here comes Pascucci. 2-for-1 special maybe for the man from Michigan. He does not. He makes up one spot. Gives the 111 a bit of a nudge. We've got 3 cars under a blanket. Can Pascucci save it? Try to get the power down without wheel spin. Who will joker on the first opportunity? And Pascucci, good move. Especially as commentators curse. Into the wall he goes.
He didn't want to take that joker, and his car got a little upset trying to get off of Canfield there. And he goes, I'm going to take the joker, and just couldn't regain the grip.
And a little bit subdued now. I'm interested to see how the teammates will come together. Canfield jokered. McDade has not. So does Garth respond to Canfield?
I mean, you should right now. You got a 2.3. You got a 2.3 second delta on them.
All over the track, and Canfield does not. Pascucci in the pit lane after the crash. McDade stayed out. Canfield was ripping the grass in the hairpin at the far end of the track. Into turn 1. Fastest lap for McDade, 45.3.
Yeah, I feel bad for
winner
Joe.
of this race. What could have been?
I wanted to see a Beetle do a 2-for-1 pass on 2 Subarus. He made the first one. He was trying to force the issue on the second one. I think he would have had it had he been able to recompose the car on the backstretch there and stay on the regular line. He would have been on the inside, maybe able to pull it out.
McDade takes his second joker. Canfield's going to wait till the last lap, I feel. Or sorry, McDade takes his first. Exiting. Position change. Canfield to the lead ahead of McDade. Into turn 1. I cannot believe that Darren Canfield did not hit the wall in turn 1, Brian. That was crazy.
Yeah, Garth McDade had a very slow lap that lap, 47.8. I mean, that's with a joker. Joker should only put him to about 45.8. So he had a 2-second. Just not quite sure what happened there. So now this is all on merit. They're both going to have to joker on this right now or
Canfield.
One on the final.
The line that Canfield's running is this Garth. Garth does joker. Do something different.
Alternating.
As Canfield will take the white flag in the 023 into the wall. He did it again, but didn't get away with it this time. And McDade, the teammates have crashed into each other, and McDade's engine is expired.
Josh, I think there's going to be a penalty for that one. McDade was going to be able to finish this race, and Canfield just pulled right back in front of him there.
I'm not often speechless.
Penalties, but
I'm not often speechless, but that's I don't have anything really.
We'll watch it again and back at oof. You know what? All I gotta say to that, Josh, is bruh.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk about Contenders' mistakes, but that was just something else. And I think this is me candidly speaking. Canfield crashes his teammate. Does he let him go? No. Canfield's gonna... Okay. I don't agree with that.
Moving? His teammate is moving.
Garth's moving.
Surprisingly, that car's going to make it.
That was a weird one. Garth's not mad. He's cracking up over the voice chat. All right. Canfield, McDade, Pascucci. Semi-final time in Charlotte. Grove, McDade, Balland, Pascucci, and Clinton Funk. As we await Balland and Grove. And that will give us, let's see, 4 cars transfer. 1 car will be out. Semi-final time in Charlotte.
Putting all
Joe
the money on Joe
Pascucci
Pascucci.
already claimed a jump start. Down to turn 1. Grove leads. Straight line to the corner. Into McDade. And McDade again. Torn up. Ball end of the lead. Funk in second. Grove third. Pascucci fourth.
And McDade's
and
car
Garth
doesn't seem like it's
McDade's
going.
right front is broken on the 111. He goes from essentially transferring Brian to out in the semifinal.
Gonna take a second look at that if we can't see what happened. We're gonna have to run it back because his incident was ugh. We're gonna look at Matt Grove because it looked like Matt Grove caused that one.
Former champion.
I don't know. Take one more look there before we go back to live pictures.
We're not. I think Garth sent it on the outside, and Matty Grove. Not to pull an F1 analogy in Rallycross because they're two different things, right? But Matty has that corner. He's not expecting McDade to be there and just uses all the road. I can't blame Matty on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of looked like he got touched on the outside before the corner. And I mean, if Matt was starting to turn and got touched on the right rear, I might not have let his car turn, might have forced him to go wide. Anyway,
we talk about all the time. Balland, Grove, Funk, and Pascucci. So these top 4 will transfer to the feature without the competition of Garth McDade. So it's just a matter of who will finish where, and that will determine your grid spot for the feature race. And Balland, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 3-wide start. So the leader will have the outside pole for the feature, which is arguably, Brian, the worst spot to start here.
It's scary. I'm not a big fan of it. If you get a good start, you can drop down on the inside of second and maybe make something happen, but it's not an ideal place to start for sure.
You know, being devil's advocate with the Matty Grove and Garth McDade situation, I think I mentioned it earlier in the show, definitely mentioned it in the driver's meeting, and to break the video game fourth wall for a second, but this track is a little interesting with the iRacing construction. The way the start is, the spotter can sometimes call car left when nobody's there, or car right and nobody's there, or it'll do the opposite. It'll say car right when there's a car on your left. My point being, Matty might have been told car left or car right or nothing at all that resulted in that incident with McDade in turn 1.
Yeah, but I mean...
Into the wall, Balland again! In the 49, here comes Grove, piles into him!
Here comes Clinton Funk, bowling ball.
Clinton Funk into the fence in the 122, crashing again. What is going on? Will Pascucci make it 4 for 4? He hits the wall.
Pascucci's going to score some points, more points for the Beetle, though. He maintains his P3.
You're throwing a party at the end of this race.
Well, I mean,
so that gives...
Did he have a jump start at the beginning? Did we say that?
He said it over voice chat, but I have nothing internally.
Yeah,
He's telling me that he's got a jump start.
Good on him. He's probably excited that he got to... He's not going to lose because of the jump start, but I'm not seeing one here.
Even then, if he got a jump start, though, with McDade off the road, it still would have been a time penalty, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it wouldn't be a 3-lap time penalty. It's just 40 seconds.
Yep.
Or 14 seconds, something like that.
So Matty Grove out front. It has been a torrid couple of seasons for the former Contenders champion, but Riley, Lane, Shelby, wife and kids watching hubby and dad win the semifinal in Charlotte. Starting third for the feature race in a couple of moments, Kevin Bolland comes home in second. No, he doesn't. Pascucci takes the second spot at the line. Bolland third, fourth Clinton Funk, sixth car on the grid for the feature. And the one man out tonight, the worst of luck, Garth McDade in the 111. As the grid is set for our feature race tonight for NASA Rallycross Contenders. We're going to give these guys a couple minutes to warm up. We're going to take a break, and on the other side, we go racing in Charlotte.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. in the 26. He has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Eddie to the inside, and Magnus gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wett's had a little bit better run, but looks like Rocky's going to hold his spot. NASA Rallycross Contenders on ASN is brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams, bringing you every angle, every lap, no matter the track, car, or series. Facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you so much, Andrew Cardinale IV and team, for everything you do, helping us make it look like we know what we are doing. If you like what you are seeing so far, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network. No matter the platform, except for Twitter, you'll see there, ASN TV USA. If you'd like your content broadcasted by us, asnTVUSA.com for any and all information. And if you would like to race with us, we have something for everyone in 2026. NASASimRacing.com. Shout out Marcus Indrek Simmer, crowned the two-time consecutive NASA World Rally Challenge World Champion, utilizing the EA Sports WRC game that wrapped up Sunday, running the Japan Rally. Awesome to see for the Estonian. As we welcome you back to round 3 of the 2026A NASA Rallycross Contenders season on the Automotive Sports Network. Brian Sawyer, Josh Hartz. We don't have names now at all. Mr. Sawyer has completely broken it. It's better than Gary Lennox.
Gary Lennox is a great name, and certainly keep it.
I might have to use that as a meme, a pseudonym. Well, I can't do it now because it's been announced, but here we are.
Why are you Gary Murphy?
Oh, God!
Oh, no.
What are you doing? Did you break it?
I might have, Josh.
Oh, God. This is why Brian might have 9 different monitors, but he doesn't know how to use any of them. All right, there we go. I'm fixed. We're back. So I'm looking through the warm-up times, and Darren Canfield ran a 43.914. Kevin Garcia ran a 43.944. I'm interested to see what will happen in this feature race. I talked about earlier, we went through the heats, we went through the semifinal, and I talked about going over the format of the feature. Now, this is a 10-lap, 2 jokers, and it's always crucial, Mr. Sawyer, because the podium, the top 3 of this race, transfer up to the World Championship race. That's going to take place in about 20 minutes or so. So these guys have the bragging rights of getting to race with the best of the best.
Yeah, Josh, I think this race is pretty much going to come down to is who can keep it out of the wall.
It's
we've seen pretty much. I think Garcia's the only one we haven't seen hit and spin. Canfield has, Boland has, Funk definitely has, Piscucci has hit the wall, Grove has hit the wall. Fades out.
But we talk about anything can happen, and it usually does. I mean, we saw that Heat 2 with the 2 KLR cars crashing into each other, and then Canfield had McDade had the crash in turn 1 of the semifinal. And we've seen crazy things. I remember the Lights World Championship when you and I came together here at Charlotte. It was turn 1, or basically turn 2, lap 1, and I spun off your nose. I mean, we've had cars flip over the wall. We've had the Kingsbury brothers back in 2021 crash in the hairpin for a transfer spot in the semifinal. I remember... Go ahead, Brian.
The you and me incident, that's when you tried to stay all the way low, isn't it?
Yes, I came across your nose. Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
I remember, and this is going to be old man soapbox tangent, but I remember when we raced at Charlotte on the old global rallycross layout we created. This was on NASCAR 2003. Way back, it was 2012, 2013. We had 10 cars piling into turn 1. Nobody made it out alive for 3 consecutive starts. And the rules back then were after 3 attempts at a race restart, you keep going, and whoever causes that big crash gets disqualified. Well, I had a teammate at the time, I think it was Austin Hakes, won that race on the road, but because he crashed the entire field on the 3rd and final restart, he got thrown to the back. and didn't win the race. So anything can happen, especially here at Charlotte, and it usually does. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Interesting system.
I didn't make that rule. I just remember that you can go on ASN On Demand to watch it. I would turn your volume down because I didn't know volume levels back when I was 16 years old. I made it through turn 1 on the initial start. Everybody crashed behind me. I think the second time I barrel rolled in the infield, and then the third time I got sent on my side. It was not a fun night, but I digress. As we get set to grid for round 3 of the 2026A NASA Rallycross Contenders, the grid will be a little interesting. I want to finish up my tangent just by saying I'm so glad, in a way, that we don't have red flags, because that stuff was such a mess, especially when they kept crashing and crashing and crashing. Our grid for Contenders. Kevin Garcia, points leader in the 505. Winner of the first 2 races. Darren Canfield, Matty Grove, former champion, Joe Piscucci, Kevin Balland, and Clinton Funk. I think Canfield and Garcia. Matty Grove's got that outside starting position. So it'll be interesting. I think it's a 3-2-1, like cars wide for this, because I think it's normally 3-2-3.
No, it's 3-2. It should be 3-2-3. It will be 3-2-1.
Okay. As we wait for Grove.
Clinton Funk, if he knows what he's doing and he is listening, he has the ability to have a fantastic start. If he doesn't get up into the other 2 rows, and if he gets up real wide and is able to dive down into the second row, he has all the space and opportunity. It's just if he does it.
Piscucci on grid, 6 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers for Contenders in Charlotte. Green flag off the line. Grove misses the start. Great start for the championship leader. The teammates side by side. It's Balland and Canfield to the first corner. Balland locks up. Canfield, sorry. That was Canfield locking up. Balland takes the second spot. Garcia out and away. Canfield trying to fight his teammate. Funk in the 122 down to turn number 1. Piscucci in the back. Grove as well. Canfield in the 023 in 4th. Over the jump for the first time. Garcia, Balland, Funk, Grove, Canfield back to 5th. On the first quarter of this first lap. And Funk trying to hang with these top 2. Remember, the top 3 transfer to the World Championship race later on, but Matty Grove, the former champion, trying to change that for himself. Multiple lines already in the sweeper here in Charlotte. 3 wide. Canfield look to the inside. Garcia stays out. Balland stays out. Who jokers? Grove does. Canfield does. Piscucci does. He does not hit the wall this time. And Garcia at the end of the first lap leads.
Josh, I know the normal saying is a race isn't won on the first lap, and that usually does not apply to Rallycross. We watched Clinton Funk there from the back, very last, gained 3 spots off of turn 1. That was an excellent job. He stayed out of everything. He made his move, stuck the nose in, and 3 spots up to P3. On 1 turn.
I tell all of the newcomers, whether they're for my team or whether they're just in general with NASA Sim Racing, when you join with Rallycross, you have the instinct to, rest his soul, Ken Block, to gymkhana your way through every single corner, because it looks super cool, okay? But it is not fast. You have to back up your corners, easy on your throttle, easy on the brakes, and the pace will come. And it looks like Clinton Funk has figured that out in turn 1 on the start. He still holds the 3rd position. No joker yet for Garcia in the 505. Canfield's done with 1. He's in the 4th spot. So Balland, top 3 have yet to joker. Canfield 1 left. Then Grove and Piscucci done with their strategies.
Yeah.
Funk in the wall in the 122.
Still has some time. Kevin Garcia is absolutely moving this car. On the first time with real lap times, he ran a 43.4 to Kevin Boland's 44.3, almost a full second faster on the last lap. Let's see this time I'll buy. It's a 43.462 for Garcia, and let's see what Boland pulls. Was it a joker lap? I don't think so. 44.5.
Funk exits his first joker.
Walking.
It's passed by the former Contenders champion, Matty Grove.
Nope.
Canfield
Darren Canfield
trying to
tried
sneak
to make
into
the
the
pass
picture.
at the inside wall, threw himself out, and tried to make it happen. Just couldn't do it.
And Funk rattled in the 122. It's easy to get out of your groove like you talked about earlier on here in Charlotte and make mistakes. Side by side, we look towards Clinton Funk from onboard Canfield. Multiple lines like we talked about in the sweeper. Funk's going to hold him down. They touch. Side by side still. They touch again from the 122 to the 023. Funk has a joker left, and he's busy battling with Canfield for fourth. Canfield nearly into the 122. And
Canfield's gonna.
I'm
Canfield
not
just
sure.
ended his own race. Wow!
I'm not sure.
I don't know what Darren's doing there. Darren's putting his nose. Just because you're faster doesn't mean you get to push the other car off the track. And Canfield's losing it. Gonna go super wide there. He's gonna get a track cut penalty for that. Yeah.
I need to remove my team car getting crashed from this. I don't understand. Like I said though, this is not because Clinton drives for me. This is if anybody got hit like that. I don't understand what the incentive is or what the thought process is to diving into the first corner like that, especially Brian when the dirt wears away. You don't have grip like you normally do.
Well, we knew something was going to happen there. Darren had his nose up under the rear end.
There it goes.
Yeah, he's just throwing that car too. He's driving that car way too hard right now.
Too hard. Way too hard.
But yeah, he had his nose up under Clinton's rear bumper. You push just a hair too hard. In supercars, if we got Evan and Kieran doing that, I understand that can happen. They're fine doing that. But in contenders, you don't want to be racing that close. You're going to push just a little too hard compared to the driver in front of you. You're going to lift your rear end. You're going to spin him out. That's what he did to Clinton there. Ended up spinning himself and tried to push too hard to make up the time and ended up ending his race.
Meanwhile, Kevin Garcia looking really good. Kevin Bolland has taken his second joker in the 49. Matty Grove still holding that podium spot, and Clinton Funk has a joker left. Impressive run for the 122. You learn in baby steps with these cars. You have to learn the starts, then turn one, how to handle turn one, and then you can refine your racecraft as Garcia jokers in the 505.
Kevin Garcia started his joker lap with 12-second gap behind him. Brings it down to about 11 here. He's really moving. He's going to end this race with like a 9-second gap to Boland.
He's a second faster on best lap alone. It is impressive. And a lot of these guys, every single season, right, you've got a guy that has this performance. We had it with Goddard. We had it with Lindy. We've got it with Darnell. I'm going to forget all the drivers. Rondoletto last season. You have one guy that shows up, aces it, and proves why they should be in the World Championship split. And for every other guy, you get angry and you say, why are the admins letting this guy run away? Shouldn't they promote him? Yes, but if you have the pace in this split, you're showing to the leadership team in NASA Sim Racing that you know how to drive these cars, and you could have your moment in the sun like Kevin Garcia is having. 2 to go for the driver from New Mexico. 46.4 was his last time around. 44.9 for Balland. Strategy is done. Clinton has taken his second joker, gets passed by Joe Pascucci in the 015. I want to shout out Joe Pascucci, Brian, because the man from Michigan, after crashing on his joker in the heat race, is one spot away from transferring. Not to commentator's curse, but we've seen it happen. With this last lap and a half, he might sneak into a transfer if something goes wrong.
Yeah, he needs Grove to have a mistake though. That's a 6-second gap to him. So aside from anything catastrophic happening, I think Matt Grove's going to be the one transferring this evening.
As Kevin Garcia,
will get big points.
Good points for the German manufacturer. As Kevin Garcia currently tied for 26th on the wins list in contenders. He's looking to tie Cody Erdman, Dylan Smith, a couple pioneers, Justin Robichaux, former champion and Hall of Famer, and Tyler Campbell with 3 wins in the contender split and continue the streak of more than the first 2 races in a contender season being won. The man from New Mexico off the final corner. It'll be win number 3 in his career and on the season for Garcia in Charlotte. As Balland will come home in the second spot, and it looks like Matty Grove will transfer in the 472. So the man from Pennsylvania, former champion, into the World Championship race. Pascucci, Funk, Canfield, and McDade. The remaining running order, as never mind, Funk has passed Pascucci off monitor to take the 4th spot back, put Funk to 4th, Pascucci 5th, Canfield 6th, and the odd man out, McDade, in the 111 in 7th.
Alrighty, Josh.
I'm going to step aside and handle the World Championship Drivers Meeting. Just be sure I don't come across to distract you from your wonderful commentary, my friend.
All right, awesome. You get out of here. You go do your thing. I'm going to see if we can get Kevin Garcia up here. So we have lost Josh. Give me one moment. I'm going to get some points done real quick. I can type fast while we give these guys a second to get their stuff sorted out. Kevin Boland in P2. Grove, P3, Funk, and Pascucci. Right, wonderful. Let's see who we got here. I have a Kevin Boland. I don't have a... There we go. Let's see here. I got a Kevin Garcia up in the booth. I think we're just going to take Kevin. Start. All right. Hard to do this by yourself. I'll tell you that. There we go. Kevin Garcia. Win number 3. How are we feeling after that one?
Oh, man. This week, I'm shaking a little bit. I know it's been a crazy start. I'm glad to really... I'm glad to be here. It's been a lot of work. I'm just thankful for the team. I mean, honestly, we've been doing a lot of practice, a lot of practice, been putting in a lot of laps, been trying to push myself against, guys like Evan, been trying to push myself against Josh, Darnell. So really quick, guys, everything I've done. 3 in a row. It's awesome, man. I really was worried this week coming into this track. But I think just, putting in lap after lap, I think about 100 laps just over the last couple of days. But man, I just want to say huge shout out to everyone out there. I know it's been back and forth between me and Kevin Boland. And again, he's been definitely respectful. I really look forward to more battles because I know we talked after last week. I know there was a bit of an incident, but we were able to chat it up afterwards. And I'll just say there's definitely a couple tracks coming up on the schedule that not my best tracks. I know just looking at some of the times, I think definitely I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know there's plenty of time in the season. Things can swing back the other way. But yeah, I'm going to do my best.
Excellent. Yeah, you can definitely tell you've put in a lot of practice this week, finishing 11 seconds over Kevin Boland. That is one impressive run. Really moving the car there. We noticed during the broadcast you were one of the only drivers that did not hit any of the walls and self-spin really today. Seems like you really got the control of the car and knowing strategy too, when to push and when to just run your quick laps and not to push the car too hard. We saw people pushing the car really hard, ended up making mistakes. You seem to have a handle on that. I think that's really going to translate into some good racing for the rest of the season for you.
Yeah, definitely. This is probably the hardest thing for me to learn was patience. Definitely this track rewards patience a lot, especially the back half of the track. When you start going around there, it feels like you're going so slow, but once you start looking at the lap times, it's really about, where there is grip, where there isn't, learning where the track is wearing in. So like I said, once again, that's huge thanks to everyone out there on the team, TWRS, Control Z, all the guys. yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, man.
Excellent. Well, you thanked a whole lot of people. Gonna ask if there's anybody else before we get out of here this evening.
Yeah, just want to thank all my friends and family. I know there's been some time kind of spent out here. They think maybe been a little bit crazy lately, a little bit obsessed, but I mean, I've been having the time of my life, and just being out here with all you guys. Shout out to the team over there at ASN as well. You guys are doing a great job on the broadcast.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck to you over in the supercar race. I'm sure we'll see you up here more this season.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, everybody. We're going to take a quick look over at the points exiting this evening, and then we'll get overall schedule. We'll get a little commercial break, and then we'll be back with the supercars. Going over to the points exiting this evening, Kevin Garcia maintains P1 with 106 points to Kevin Boland's 92. A little bit of a gap forming there. Matt Grove P3, 83 points. Darren Canfield up 2 positions with 70. Garth McDade and Clinton Funk down 1. Joe Pascucci up 1. Josh Mertz down 1. And that is our top 8 for this series. Over in the team standing, KLR Pink Fury holding P1 still. Control Z Racing 106 points. Slaypex Racing powered by TWRS 83. KLR Blue Thunder up 2 positions over JC Academy and Slaypex Racing VW this evening. Mertz Racing Technology up 1. Move over at Speedy Time down 1. I don't even think we have a car in this series. Over the cars, nothing changed. 106, 83, 46. Beetle. I think that's the most points Beetle's had in many, many moons. Going over to the schedule. Next week, same time, same place. Rallycross Contenders Daytona Short is the name of the venue. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Josh Mertz and myself. World Championship immediately following that. Immediately following this commercial break, though, is going to be this week's World Championship race. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes. We got to get a session set up and finish up a driver's meeting. But until then, watch some looping ads, hit some likes, talk in the chat, keep the engagement up. We'll see y'all soon.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
Side
it.
by side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Magnus will hold his spot.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
Side by
it.
side between these two in the turmoil. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. Over in the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the
I'm muting in here.
One, up to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like he's going for the spot. Last week in Atlanta, defending champion Kieran Lifflander had the start of a lifetime, rocketing into Turn 1 and taking the win ahead of title rival Evan McFarland. 13 cars piled into Turn 1 of the feature race, and it resulted in an incredibly immense show. Lifflander is attempting to break a record that has been matched numerous times since the championship's inception in 2012, and that's winning the first 3 races of the season. Nobody has done it, and we wonder if the world champion can do it tonight, or will somebody stop it? America's home for racing is the stage for the evening. The Charlotte Grand Prix is next. Our venue this week is Charlotte Motor Speedway, with the modern layout first raced by NASA in 2021. Open in 1960, this 0.83-mile circuit is a test of our drivers' confidence and bravery. We'll surround you at every corner, and not being afraid of them will win or lose you handfuls of lap time. Knowing how and when to Scandi flick the car on corner entry will be the difference between winning and ending up in a heap on one of the many tire barriers around the circuit. In NASA Rallycross, after open practice, we head to single car 3-lap qualifying with the top 8 receiving bonus points. This will set the field for our 5-lap heat races. You win your heat, straight to the feature, 2 bonus points. The rest are sent to the semifinals, also 5 laps, where the top half of those races advance and the top 3 earn extra points. That'll set the stage for our 10-lap feature race, and unique to NASA Sim Racing, 2 jokers are taken all evening. The 34th season of the NASA Rallycross World Championship continues tonight, live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Brian Sawyer in the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, as NASA and ASN are proud to welcome you to the 13th running of the Charlotte Grand Prix. The NASA Rallycross Challenge on ASN is brought to you by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams, and thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for camera support all season, and also by Alex Abetti, the former world champion, producer of the official NASA Sim Racing theme music. Better late than never on that intro card, Mr. Sawyer, and I want to ask you, what a start for Kieran last week in the Grand Prix. He did 2 in a row. Does he finally break the record that has not been broken in 14 years with 3 wins off the bounce?
I sure hope not. Some things aren't meant to be broken, Josh, and I want that one to stand for a very long time. 14 years is a long time, but it's close to 15. It's close to 20. Might as well keep it going.
As there have been names
win this evening.
We're going to do this live right now. Elliot Porterfield did it in the first season, and that was back in 2012. And then it didn't get anywhere close to happening until 2018 C. Connor Parisi, and then Bo Albert, Sindre Silva, Jacob Rafos. Let's see, who else? Evan McFarland. So many names have gotten close to breaking this oddball record that has stood since July 1st, well, technically July 8th of 2012. Brian, before we head to qualifying, let's take a look at the World Championship standings coming into the Charlotte Grand Prix.
Absolutely, Josh. Coming into this evening, we got Kieran Lifflander with 67 points, followed by Evan McFarland with 63, Carter Ghosh 55, Zach Goddard 51, Matthew Lindy 38, Devin Hughes 37, Jeff Cartwright, Eric Dubois, Josh Darnell, and Jonathan Harris round out our top 10. Over in the team's points, Kieran Lifflander Racing Black Phantom with 101 points, followed by Subi Squad 89, Control Z 68, Channel 199, Sim Racing 63, Aqua Storm, JC Sim Sport, Slaypex Racing, Pink Fury, Blue Thunder, and Team Dog Racing round out your top 10. Manufacturers, same as the other series: Subaru, Ford Fiesta, and VW Beetle. I said it once, I won't say it again for you.
your favorite car at least has some points in the Manufacturers Championship, which is super exciting. Actually, let's do this. Let's do it a little bit out of order. Take us through the... Well, never mind. We're going to do this first. I need to focus on... Oh, God. Commentator's curse. This man won the last time we were at Charlotte on NASCAR 2003. Chris Wetz, 34 seasons in a row that he's going to make a start in the World Championship, dating back to that first race in July of 2012. He is sitting on the wins list, I want to say third, fourth now? I don't even remember. He's fourth with 20. He's tied with Kieran Lifflander, the reigning and defending NASA Rallycross World Champion. Before we hit qualifying, Brian, take us through some upcoming programming on ASN.
I feel like we just did this, but we'll do it again next week. Same time, same place. I did it. I did it without you. We got the NASA Rallycross Contenders and World Championship. Same time, same place next week. Daytona Short, me, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, we're going to have some sort of ASN special event the following Monday, and then we'll be back the next Monday for NASA Rallycross in Brands Hatch.
SimCar returns April 23rd. They push the season up just a pinch. It is going to be the Porsche Cup. It is no longer going to be a GT3 series for this upcoming season. It'll be Alex Larson and myself, so be sure to hang out with us starting April 23rd, Thursday nights, for that one. Brian's going to jump in a car and embarrass himself. I'm kidding. Qualifying time in Charlotte. First car on track, Chris Wetz in the 71. Won here back in 2013C, the last race to be ran at Charlotte on NASCAR 2003. 20 wins in the championship. Came oh so close a couple times for the World Championship. 2012B against myself. 2014A against his then teammate Dylan Livengood. Lost the championship on the final lap. Final corner. Go back and watch it. It was phenomenal. Just turn your volume down because 18-year-old Josh at that time still didn't know how volume levels worked. But it was phenomenal. And ever since then, Wetz has won a few races here and there back on NASCAR 2003. And he talked in the driver's meeting. He said, I need to learn Rallycross. I just want to make my one start each season to continue my record. Sits second all time in points scored. So many podiums, so many victories. And let's see what the benchmark is for the man from Texas. Across the line in the Ford Fiesta, that first lap, 45.230. Josh Darnell, P1, former Contenders champion at a 41.682. Second place, Carter Gosh, 41.7. Jeff Cartwright, 41.8. Harris, Young, Dubois, Wetz times begin to roll in, and the world champion already on track as Evan McFarlane, his first lap did not count for the former world champion in the 04. Zach Goddard to P1, former Contenders champion, 41.613 for the 29. And Kieran's waiting, Mr. Sawyer, waiting for Evan to set his lap. Final corner, Carter Gosh across the line, 41.8. McFarlane will cross the line in the 04. Had to give up car number 1 this season, 41.142. It's P1 for the 4-time world champion. Daryl Young crosses the line. Goes to 9th. We wait for Kieran Lifflander to grid. Matty Grove in the World Championship split after transferring up into the wall. Saves it. Kevin Balland next up. Predicted time, 42.7, 42.8. Let's see what he will do across the line. He stays 12th quick. No, he goes to 10th. Carter Gosh. He will finish his laps in the 91, 42.833 for the 91. Darnell to P2, 41.5. He's still looking for a couple tenths, and we've broken the 40-second bracket with the former world champion, Evan McFarlane. And now, Kieran Lifflander is the only driver to not run a qualifying lap yet. Everybody else is done, well, except for Kevin Garcia and Matthew Lindy, the former Contenders champion Lindy. And we look, Brian, at the world champion Lifflander in the 20. Tell you what, we're just going to sit back and relax on this lap. It's going to be phenomenal. wall goes the world champion in the first time of asking, Brian! Oh, that is uncharacteristic, and we've seen that. I say uncharacteristic, right? But we've seen that from these kids the last 3 weeks.
Oh, he's backing up. He's getting more speed.
Oh, you better not get disqualified from iRacing, though. That's a risky game. He's practicing the start as well. Alrighty. So Liftlander's already crashed once. He has to beat a 40.9. It is the only car in the 40-second bracket is the 4-time world champion Evan McFarlane. Let's try it again. He misses the grip, misses the curb, driver's left. You want to stay closer to that section of track, deep into the runoff like we talked about, utilizing the grass, utilizing the paint. It's all legal if you keep a tire on the dirt. And now, to the final corner. Can Liftland... No, he gave it up. He didn't like that one. He doesn't have a banker. We talked about this the last couple seasons. You need a banker lap. And there's no inverts this season for the World Championship, Ryan. What is going on here with the 20?
Not quite sure. He's trying to figure something out, or...
Oh, I think he's changing his setup. Garth popped in chat and said it's the setup. So I wonder if that's true or if that's just some gamesmanship from the KLR team. And now, the World Champion...
Josh.
Trying again.
All I know is I saw that predicted time coming around the second time, that last set of turns, and it was a 41.8. So that was, it put him in P6. Yeah. That was what the predicted time was at.
Final lap for the 20. He's got 13 seeding round victories, trying to get 14 and tie Connor Parisi and Francois Martel. Or will Evan McFarlane get closer to my record of 36 and score his 30th? Final sector for Liftlander. He cannot park the car this time. He has to take what he can get. Final corner for the reigning and defending NASA Rallycross World Champion. Across the line for Liftlander in the 20. It is a 41.001. It is pole position for McFarlane by 0.025 of a second over Liftlander. He got it done, but not all the way, did Liftlander. As Lindy, Goddard, Darnell, top 5, Gosh, Garcia, Cartwright, Harris, Dubois, Young, Ballan through 12th, Grove, and Wetz, the last 2 in qualifying. Is everybody else done with their laps? We're going to go ahead and do this one and get set for heat number 1 in Charlotte. I'm getting scared, Brian. The records are made to be broken. I know that. Evan's got 6 more seeding round wins to take the record from me. He is on pole position for heat number 1. Zach Goddard, Kevin Garcia, Eric Dubois, Matty Grove. It is a grid full of champions, except for Eric Dubois, and I say that with love, my friend. You almost won a race here, and then I think you forgot to take your second joker.
Forgot to take the second joker. He was so excited.
I think I was calling that race. And I was so excited for him to win.
And then he started screaming.
And then he didn't take his joker. And there we are. Don't worry, Eric. The best of the best do it. I lost a surefire win at Daytona in the Lights World Championship. I told Cody Erdman when we went to the Rolex 24, or when we went to our concert last May, I walked my second joker. I finally got it done. I digress. Heat 1 in Charlotte. Green flag off the line. McFarlane does not get the jump. Dubois, Goddard, and Garcia beat the former world champion into turn 1. Dubois backs out of it. McFarlane to third. Goddard leads in the 29, followed by the 505 of Garcia into the first couple of corners. The track is at its best. Now McFarlane has to work his way through traffic. It's not that he's not used to it, Brian. With those inverts the last couple seasons, he knows how to make his way through traffic, but now It's almost like a I messed up the start. I'm behind on merit kind of thing. Into turn 5.
On the inside here. Oh, he backed out.
Garcia
So it's
throttled
gonna
up
be
mid
scary
corner.
if he kept it in. He's going to try the over-under on Garcia here. Probably push him a little wide. Nope, not even going to have to push him wide. Garcia
tries
takes
the paint.
outside line for the first time this evening,
Surges. He thought about a joker, crossed up in the 505, and the Contenders points leader loses the second spot. I would have jokered if I was Garcia. He second-guessed himself there.
It's just a Contenders mistake. You can never second-guess your joker entry. You're either taking it or you're not. And that goes for 90% of the tracks. You cannot decide last minute.
As Goddard leads in the 29. McFarland now hounding his former teammate. Dubois in the 000, Garcia and Grove. The rest of this running order. Will we see a joker from anybody in the top 4? McFarland does not. Dubois does not. Garcia takes his first joker now in the 505. Matty Grove finishes his strategy, does the former Contenders champion, in the 472. And what that means is with Lifflander not in this heat race, not having the opportunity to win this first heat race, he will have, at best, the middle grid spot going into turn 1 of the feature. And that is a terrifying prospect. When we talked about in the Contenders race, your spotter for the sim sometimes calls a car on your inside and it's not there, or the outside and he's not there, or he calls inside and the car's outside. There's so many mixes of variables that the spotter could tell you. McFarland jokers in the 04. My point being, Lifflander in trouble.
Like I said, at the level these kids are at, that doesn't matter anymore. You know where the other cars are. You can hear where they are on your left or your right. You know there's no car to your inside when he calls car left.
McFarland in second. Goddard is the only car to not
bye-bye,
have
Kevin
a joker.
Garcia
One around.
clips.
Garcia.
What did he even clip?
Taking a look. He left front into the tire barrier on the landing ramp. That was an interesting one in the worst of ways. Evan is already searching for the outside line on the sweeper. Jokering is Goddard. This will bring them level with strategy. Are they going to race on the merge? No commitment line issue here. McFarland to the lead. White flag for Channel 199. The former world champion trying to recover this season. He's only a couple points down, but we've seen the championship come to a winner-take-all the last 4 or 5 seasons in a row between those two battling at the front. And McFarland, unless Goddard can send it into this hairpin, looking good for McFarland to take this heat race win. Dubois, Grove, Garcia, the remaining running order, that has not changed. Jokering is McFarland, jokering is Goddard, and it will be a formation finish for the running order. And Evan McFarland, pole position in Charlotte, the winner of heat number 1. Goddard, Dubois, Grove, and Garcia to the semifinal. And that is a third consecutive seeding round win and Heat 1 win for McFarland in the 0-4. Heat number 2 in Charlotte. Kieran Lifflander, Josh Darnell, Jeff Cartwright, Daryl Young, and Chris Wetz. 4 Subarus and a Ford. Weird to see Darnell still in a Subaru, and it's been 3 weeks. Getting set for Heat 2 in Charlotte. Green flag off the line. Darnell misses the start. So does Cartwright. Lifflander cuts across. Has his teammate behind him. And the world champion takes the lead but pushes wide. 1 car wide. It was Cartwright who missed turn 1. Contact with Young and with Darnell starting lap number 1. And Lifflander pulling away. But here's my question, Brian. If you're Kieran, I feel like the answer is no, because you've got so much practice, right? But are you rattled from crashing in qualifying? Are you rattled from getting so close to that P1 in qualifying?
You would hope at this level, no, but sometimes it just gets to you. Thought Jeff Cartwright hit the wall, the tire barrier on the entrance to the main course, so his car's going to be a little damaged.
Darnell to the inside, on Daryl Young, the former Contenders champion, showing these guys he knows how to drive these cars still. Daryl Young, what kind of send was that? Why would you try and pass there is the question. He takes second spot back.
A little bit of anger. We're going to see
dueling
it right
again. Darnell, clean move, gets nudged by Young in the 25. There was no room but for a piece of paper between the 029 and the 25. And Darnell closed the door, took the spot, and is running away.
I'm Darnell. I'm taking the Joker, getting away from it. You've just made 2 excellent passes, and he wasn't very happy about the first one. So take that, Joker, run away for a little bit. Hope he doesn't come with you.
Is Lifflander pulling away. Already 4 seconds out in front, ahead of Darnell. Young Jokers. Wetz takes his second Joker in the 71, and we wait for Jeff Cartwright, and Cartwright stays out in the 55. Fastest lap for Lifflander, 41.7. Something doesn't look right with the 20. He ran that great lap in qualifying to essentially match Evan, but the confidence is a little shaky for the 20.
He's keeping it on the low line, which is not normal for him.
No, they normally, him and Evan both normally push very wide in that hairpin. You could go all the way out to the paint. Jokering is the 20, jokering is the 029. They'll be done with their first bit of strategy and still miles ahead of Young, Cartwright, and Wetz. 2 to go for Lifflander. And this track is just going to get worse and worse for the heat races, and then you've got the semifinals. But at the end of this feature race, the Charlotte Grand Prix, Brian, it's going to be worn through. It's not going to be a fun time for any of these guys involved.
Josh Darnell really having, I guess, a good off Joker lap to Young. Young took his Joker lap, Darnell didn't. And then they switched what they did. Darnell took his, and Young did not. And Darnell came out 2-3 seconds above.
Cartwright has crashed
we got Cartwright
in the dirt, turn number 4. Car's still in reverse. He's trying to figure it out. Kieran off monitor switched up the line again in the sweeper. He went back to the outside line. He's not comfortable in that 20, trying to figure out a way around this track. Last lap is a 41.7 for the world champion. Darnell still holds second. Young and Wetz the remaining order with half a lap to go. About half a car width off of the preferred line. You want to utilize the curb through turn number 5, and Lifflander almost straightened out through turn 6. I don't know. He takes to the Joker. I'm unsure of what's going on with that 20 tonight. Exiting the Joker. He'll line up alongside McFarland. They'll be first and second for the Charlotte Grand Prix. Lifflander wins Heat 2. Darnell will come home in second. First car to the semifinal out of this one, with Daryl Young, Chris Wetz, and Jeff Cartwright joining him in the semifinal. And this third heat race is where they will figure out who grids on the far spot. And this is going to be a show. You've got Matthew Lindy, former Contenders champion, and Carter Gosh, one of the newest drivers in the World Championship. Immense pace. Podium on debut. I think he finished on the podium last week as well. I could be wrong, but immense pace for the 91. Lindy, Gosh, Harris, and Balland. And it's a KLR race except for Matthew Lindy in the 3. Getting set for the third and final heat race of the evening in North Carolina. Green flag off the line. Gosh had the start in the first phase. Wheel spin off the second, but he takes the lead down to the first corner. Harris and Lindy side by side. Lindy tries to surge past Harris. Lindy tries to get by Gosh. They're going to be side by side into turn 1. Can he close the door? Gosh checks him.
Whoa.
Into the fence goes the 91. The top 3 have crashed on the start.
Congratulations on your win, Jonathan Harris.
That was a messy start. That's always what happens in turn 1, Brian.
Gosh's car was over top of Lindy through that turn. It's like he threw the car over. We're going to go back and watch, obviously. But he threw that car over, and it's just like the rear end went over top of Lindy. Watch this here. Gosh is pushing on Lindy's outside. It gets some air and just up the. I've never seen the rear end lift like that. That was very interesting. Now that car is very slow. Lindy has nowhere to go. He's got a car on his inside. He tries to avoid. Harris is there squeezing him out. Lindy gets caught up with Gosh. Nowhere where he can go. And there we go. Boland just kind of gets caught up in it. Also, there was nowhere for Boland to go. Harris, just a very lucky recipient of a gift.
So now the 75 leads. Gosh in the 91 in second. I'm interested to see if Gosh can close this gap with this damaged car. Jonathan Harris, the Aussie, out front. Gap is 4.3. Gosh gave up a second exiting the dirt. And Balland, that car's about to explode in the 49, but he's trying to make his way around. Let's take a second look. To be transparent, there's nothing happening right now. I'll keep an eye on live pictures. Let's ride on board maybe Lindy. Let's ride on board Lindy and see what happened from his view, because they were side by side, and like you said, you called it perfectly. Carter got... Look, what are you supposed to do?
Nothing you can do. I'm gonna run it back. We'll do a slow-mo.
Let's go, Jonathan Harris, slow-mo. Let's go back to Harris and just watch the C's part. So turn one in Charlotte like this never works. If it works, you're doing something right.
That's
9 times out of 10, it never works. I've never seen that. Did they touch tires?
Yeah, the tires touched to kick Gosh's car up into the air. And then Harris just gets his rear end straightened out, and he doesn't see the fallout. He just gets to keep going. I'm gonna run it back too, and we're gonna watch from Boland.
Not only do you have all the dirt,
nowhere to go either.
You can't see either, and then you just got cars.
He just sees a car going up in the air. It looks like Harris is blocking his view of most of the accident. He should be able to tell right now there's about to be an accident on the outside. Looks good for him. Looks good for him. And all of a sudden,
the problem was
the cars are spinning around, and he has nowhere to go. He
Gosh hit the fence.
I made it past one. Lindy spun and just blocked his path. He just had to try and exist.
Kevin Balland's car has grenaded. Back to live pictures.
Gone.
Jonathan Harris has had a 5-lap test session. Matthew Lindy not thrilled over voice chat. Kevin Balland off the side of the road with a blown engine. And Jonathan Harris, the beneficiary of the calamity in turn 1.
I don't think Lindy can be too upset about it. I mean, you can in the moment, but in a normal instance, Gosh and him could have just leaned their cars on each other. There's no knowing that the car's tires are going to touch like that and send them up over.
And that, interestingly, with Gosh, Ball, and Lindy to the semifinal. This gives, I'm thinking team-wise here, Jonathan Harris, in theory, of course, team orders are legal. Jonathan Harris could have a slow start, let Kieran get that better run into turn 1, but we'll see later on in the feature. Semi-final, is there only one? Grid. Zach Goddard, Carter Gosh, Daryl Young, Matty Grove, and Matthew Lindy. I think we have 2 semifinals tonight.
Could have 2.
In Charlotte.
I hope we have 2.
Otherwise, you broke something.
Well, otherwise, yeah, I broke something.
5 laps, 2 jokers, and I think we're going to have the top 3 transfer out of each of these semifinals. As we wait for Goddard, we wait for Lindy to join up. Lindy on track. We wait for Goddard. 3 Contenders champions on this grid. Semifinal A in Charlotte. Green flag. Gosh gets a great start in the 91. Clears Young, clears Goddard down to turn 1 on the start. To begin the first lap proper, Lindy smokes Young, exiting turn 1. Winding, words are hard, around the final corner to begin the first lap proper. Goddard to the inside of Gosh. No contact this time into turn number 2. Gosh leads Goddard and Lindy over the jump. 91, 29, and 3. Into turn 3. Don't go too far. You'll hit the curbs over the little crest. And into turn number 4, multiple lines. Lindy had to rip the handbrake to get the car to pivot the way he needs to, and into the sweeper. Gosh goes wide, Goddard stays middle, inside is Lindy, multiple lines, and Gosh powers his way off the corner to hold the lead by a couple car lengths. Who will joker? Lindy does, and Grove does in the 472. At the end of the first lap, Ryan, Carter Gosh leads.
Yeah, very good pace by both these drivers. It's basically a re-rack for some of these drivers of what just happened. Nobody died this time, so we're getting to actually see their real race pace.
As Goddard and Gosh dueling away for the lead in the semifinal. Daryl Young currently holds that transfer spot with the first car, last car rather, not to joker, sitting in third. Goddard trying to find a way around on the 91. Ripping the outside again is Gosh. Goddard had the run, but Gosh has the run on the outside. Phenomenal to see the differing lines, and Goddard makes it stick with a hip check in the 29. The former Futures and Contenders champion from West Virginia takes the lead. That was impressive.
I bet Matt Lindy is very happy to see these two cars battling back and forth. It means they're going to be running a little bit slower lap times. Yeah, 42.3 is what they ran this time around. I think Matthew Lindy just took his... No, did he take a second joker?
First joker done for him.
42. He ran a 42.5 last time around.
It says first joker done for him. Top two have yet to joker. Carter Gosh to the inside, nudges the 29. Ooh. Tries to get to the outside again.
Yeah, that's not going to be ideal for Gosh, though. He just nudged him to the outside and compromised all his entry speed. He hasn't taken a joker yet, and he has fallen within striking distance for Lindy now for a single joker rotation.
Goddard gives up the second spot, stays in the transfer spot for the moment. Does the former Futures and Contenders champion. Over the jump, Lindy in second, trying to sneak his way into this feature race. Currently Young and Grove, fourth and fifth. That running order has not changed. Gosh has yet to joker. He has to joker this lap and the next lap, Brian, if he wants to play nice with the regs.
I'm thinking, oh, no, Lindy! Oh, I was about to say, I think this is Lindy's race. He gained back all that time. He got Goddard. He was within margins to Gosh.
But he still holds the transfer. He's got a joker left, though. Young does not. It's going to be nip and tuck for the 3 to hold this spot. White flag for Gosh.
I think he'll be fine. He's going to hold it, but not in the spot he wants to.
You get the 3 points for winning, 2 points for second, 1 for finishing third in the semifinal. And if I'm Matthew Lindy, I'd be happy to even make the Grand Prix after crashing in turn 1 of the heat and crashing in the sweeping hairpin in the semifinal. Carter Gosh has to joker. This should put Goddard, I think, through to the semifinal win. We would just have to wait and see. It's going to be close between Lindy and Young at the checkered flag. Gosh jokers.
I was looking at Goddard. I thought Lindy took his second one already. He did not.
Lindy jokers.
Yeah, it's going to be very close.
Checkered flag.
Entering.
Goddard wins. Gosh second. Where is Young? Lindy holds it. Lindy transfers. Best of the rest is Young with Grove fourth and fifth. That's a heart and mouth moment for the 3 for sure. Semifinal B. 6 cars in this one. Josh Darnell, Eric Dubois, Kevin Bolland, Chris Wetz, Kevin Garcia, and Jeff Cartwright. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us live on the Automotive Sports Network as we get set to roll for this second semifinal. We wait for Kevin Garcia. Top 3 once again will transfer through. In this race, this one's wide open. Semifinal B in Charlotte. Green flag off the line. Even start. Bolland pulls Dubois down to the first corner. Darnell to the inside. Here comes Cartwright. They touch. Just Bolland with Dubois. They save it. And Darnell goes to the lead. Side by side. It's Cartwright and Garcia. Garcia in the fence. Saves it. Does not hit Wetz. They're side by side into turn 1. Leading is Darnell. Dubois. Cartwright into the fence with Bolland. Wetz involved in the 71. And the man from Texas in the back of the field. Over the sleeping policeman goes Dubois in the 000.
Yeah, Bolland in the back really... Really
it's gone from bad to
created
worse.
A traffic jam for everybody behind him. He got around, and everybody had to slow up to try and snake their way by. Let Josh Darnell and Eric Dubois kind of get away from the field, but Jeff Cartwright trying to sneak in on Dubois here. About a 10th entering the Joker.
Jokering is the 55. Garcia in the 505. Dubois, Darnell. Let's get a running order reset as they complete the first lap of this semifinal. Josh Darnell from Maryland, former Contenders champion, leading the way ahead of Eric Dubois from Maine in the 000. Kevin Garcia, the reigning Futures champion, Contenders points leader in the 505. Off monitor, Jeff Cartwright has crashed in the 55. It has gone from bad to worse for him in this semifinal. But we are going to have a duel, I think. Well, Cartwright and Wetz both have crashed, so do we say the top three are settled? I don't think so. We saw them crash in the Contenders race on the white flag.
Yeah, this track is claiming a lot of victims tonight, Josh. It's really liking to eat people who are pushing too hard tonight.
Darnell, Dubois, Garcia. Top three. Top two have not taken a Joker. Garcia took his first. Cartwright has looped it earlier on, so he's behind the 8-ball. Chris Wetz had to park on the road in the 71 and ball land off the track. So at this point in the semifinal, when you only got 2 laps left, it's really race the track and not focus on your competitors, not focus on outright pace. Just pure survival, frankly. As Jokering is Dubois in the 000. Jokering is Darnell. 2 to go for the 029. As here comes Garcia with Dubois battling for the second spot. This is for an extra bonus point tonight in Charlotte. But if these guys come together, that's what Jeff Cartwright's hoping for, Brian. These guys have a mishap and he could sneak his way back up to a transfer.
I think Garcia's going to set up for an over-under here. He's going to marginally get on the outside. Now you sneak to the end. Push a little wide. He's not going to have the speed he needs to push Eric where he needs him to.
He was utilizing the 000, though, to rotate the car. Every little bump, it rotated the car more and more. White flag for Darnell in the 029. Dubois exits the Joker, loses the second spot.
All right, 43.6 for Kevin Garcia, who did not take his Joker that last time around. Eric Dubois is going to need to run faster than a 43.6 to make this stick.
Cartwright still has the Joker left. The top three are settled at the front of the field unless something goes wrong. Josh Darnell made the move to the Subaru after so many seasons of driving the Ford Fiesta. He'll take the second Joker. The former Contenders champion rounds the final corner, and he will win the semifinal here in Charlotte. Second place will be Kevin Garcia, unless Dubois has something to say about it. Garcia exits and takes the second spot. Dubois will be the third and final car to transfer, as best of the rest will be Cartwright, Wetz, and Balland. As the grid is set for the 13th running of the Charlotte Grand Prix, we're going to step aside for just a couple moments on ASN, and on the other side of the break, we go racing in North Carolina.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
Side by
it.
side between these two in a turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarlane contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like we're just over this spot.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way,
The NASA Rallycross World Championship on ASN is brought to you by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams, and thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for camera support all season. And also by Alex Abetti, producer of the official NASA Sim Racing theme music. Hope you're doing well, my friend, former World Champion 2022B, and hope to see you back soon. If you like what you have seen tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network, no matter the platform at ASN TV USA. And if you ask Brian really nicely, he might give you the .onion domain for us on the dark web. If you'd like your content broadcasted as well, you can begin some dialogue at asntvUSA.com. We are, of course, looking for any and all programming to feature on here. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2026. All the information is at nasasimracing.com. Stage rally, rallycross, cross car. We got some other stuff that I can't say that I almost just said. It's a super fun time. Real quick, Brian, give me a quick prediction before we head to the grid.
Real quick before we head to the grid, I think Kieran Lifflinger's teammate's going to let him through. It's going to be one heck of a battle, but I don't know, man. I think he's going to let him through. Try to let him through it. I think he's going to try and let him through, but that's risky. It's always risky to try and let somebody through on this track.
Evan's going for 3 wins in Charlotte. Kieran's going to break that 14-year-old record of winning the first 3 races of the season. McFarlane and Lifflander and Harris, front row of the grid. It's Goddard and Darnell. Then Gosh, Garcia, Lindy, and Dubois. 9 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers. And as Brian alluded, we got Harris on the outside. Will he let his teammate go? Thanks for joining us all evening on ASN as we get set to go green for the World Championship Charlotte Grand Prix. Green flag in North Carolina, off the line. McFarlane does not get a jump compared to Lifflander. Harris does not back out. Now he does. Lifflander to the lead. It's a brawl behind them as McFarlane touches the 75. McFarlane instantly apologizes. Here comes Goddard in the 29, side by side with Harris. Down to the first corner. It's Lindy. Gosh in the back. They came together earlier on. Darnell, Garcia, Dubois as the field is all over the track. Harris gets nudged into Darnell, stacking up the field. Lindy side by side with Goddard. Goddard closes the door, battling for third with Lindy, Gosh, Harris, Garcia, Dubois. Darnell's around, exiting the jump, and Lifflander out in front, ahead of McFarland by a couple of car lengths. We see the multiple lines as well from high above, with Lindy all the way off the track. Here comes Gosh as well, trying to utilize the paint. Who will joker? The top two do not. Lindy doesn't. Nobody does except for Harris in the 75. Dubois follows him at the end of the first lap. Ryan Kieran leads by a couple car lengths. Here comes McFarland.
Josh, this is extremely stressful. I would not want to be driving in this. Everybody is so condensed. I mean, we've seen ricochets already happen. Lindy got into somebody, it sent him off. I'm not quite sure who
car
they got.
lengths
It was
between
a
them.
KLR car.
Inside McFarland on Lifflander. We haven't seen these two duel since the finale of the World Championship last season. Now going outside is Lifflander. Inside is McFarland. Goddard and Gosh have come together in turn 4. They are back going, but they touched in the corner and dropped them down the order. Lindy, Garcia, Gosh, Harris, everybody taking a joker lap, and Goddard now back on track in 4th. The gap is 4/10 between the two world champions at the sharp end of the field. Lindy 3rd, Goddard 4th, Garcia, Gosh, Harris, Dubois, and Darnell recovering well in the 0:29 after being backwards on the jump. And McFarland and Lifflander matching pace, blow for blow. Let's take a look from high above at the varying lines here in Charlotte. Lifflander dives very deep into the corner, surges ahead. The gap is half a second. It's calmed down for the most part. Brian in the back of the field. McFarland jokers. Will he come out in traffic? No. He comes out ahead of his former teammate, Lindy. Darnell and Dubois side by side put Darnell to 8th. Lifflander 41.7 for the world champion. McFarland's fastest lap on the regular course was a 41.9. He's all crossed up in the 0-4. If we can focus on him for the moment, because he was all over the track. Lifflander trying to utilize everything that he can. And now it gets that middle point in the race, Brian, where either of these kids always super fast. McFarland jokers again.
Yeah, he takes
Lindy
his second.
follows.
Good. They're probably conversing there. Hey, take yours so I don't wind up in traffic behind you. I need the clean air, and he gets to push as much as he can now with nice uncompromised laps. Nobody in front of him. This is the run for all the money, Josh.
As if Lifflander wins today, the two kids will be tied for 3rd all-time on the wins list with 21, and the record will finally fall for not winning the first 3 rounds of the championship. People have been crashed. People have been disqualified. Eric Dubois as well.
Getting Lifflander on the regular line once again.
Moves up a spot. Halfway home for Lifflander in the 20.
Jonathan Harris trying to chase down Gosh. Had it closed down to about 0.3 of a second. Lost some speed. Got a little squirrely. Back down to about a second now.
Gap is 6.5 seconds at the front of the field, but Lifflander has not jokered. McFarland is done with both of his jokers. Harris done with both. Lindy, Goddard, Gosh, they all have 1 left. Darnell passes Harris. As did Harris make a mistake in the 75? He did. Pushed way too hard and gave up the position. Lifflander, I think, is going to wait until the last 2 laps. Maybe pull the Chris Wett strategy here, Mr. Sawyer. 41.9. Let's see what McFarland runs.
Yeah, Evans not looking too good. He's got about 6 seconds between
42.1
down to about 5. Yeah, he needs to get that closer to about 4 if he really wants a shot.
A messy landing though for him. That was really bad jump. He pushed out wide.
Yeah, pushed out wide. It set his turn up a little nicer, but too much bouncing, lost some speed. Back down to about 5.4 seconds behind Kieran. Not much else happening on track. Kevin Garcia trying to make a run on Harris. There's still about a second
Lifflander
between those
jokers
two.
in the 20. First bit of strategy's done. And the gap is 4 seconds. Let's call it 4.5 once Lifflander merges. 3 laps to go for the world champion. As Lifflander McFarland, Lindy in third after crashing in the heat race and crashing in the semifinal. Great recovery for the former Contenders Series champion. Goddard, Gosh, Darnell, Harris, Garcia, and Dubois, the remaining running order. Into the wall goes Lifflander in the 20. He takes his second joker. Where will he come out? I don't think there's going to be any contest, Brian. No, not at all.
No, not with these mistakes that Evan's making.
I have to agree from what you said last week when you said it was last week or the week before that Evan might be doing too much, trying to run too many series versus Kieran is laser focused, locked in, trying to go for a 13,000 dirt road I rating. Absolutely mental number that the kid from South Carolina is trying to achieve. Coming to the white flag for Kieran Lifflander. Lindy holds. Gosh and Darnell dueling for the 5th position. To the inside goes Darnell, touching the 91. It's not like Josh Darnell to be too rough on track with his competitors. He goes to the inside. Gosh tries to fight back on the outside. Can Darnell close the door? He does. White flag for the world champion up front. It has been 14 years since, well, someone has potentially won more than the first 2 races of the season. And Lifflander, is he under pressure? We still focus on this battle with Darnell and Gosh. Final set of corners. McFarland is trying everything that he can, but I don't think it's going to happen. It has been 14 years, and nobody has been able to win the first 3 rounds of the championship. The record falls. It's Kieran Lifflander on the top of the podium. Win number 21 for the world champion, and he ties the kid behind him, 3rd all-time on the wins list of NASA Rallycross. Lindy 3rd, 4th Goddard, 5th Darnell, 6th Gosh, 7th Garcia, Harris, and Dubois. What a race in Charlotte. Every time, Brian, every time something new happens, and I cannot believe that record has finally fallen. That weird oddball record that started with Elliot Porterfield 14 years ago has finally fallen. By 2.2 seconds over Evan McFarland. It's 3 wins in a row. As he goes out on the front straightaway of the oval to celebrate. Reminds us when we raced the Legends, or the what was it called? Legends Road Course something with the lights.
Something, yeah.
That was onto the front straightaway. It doesn't matter that it's a video game, ladies and gentlemen. What we've been watching, I say it every week, it's phenomenal. And I watch these stat books change and ebb and flow, and records are made to be broken. And these 2 kids continue to reset records. I know we don't have a graphic for it. I really wish we did. That's not a dig at you, Brian. I love you, buddy. But as he does it again. He did it last week with the podium. All-time wins leader in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. This is not, I promise, to toot my own horn. I have 40. I'm at the top of the board. Philip Kraus, 5-time world champion, Hall of Famer with 24. And then you have McFarland and Lifflander with 21. Chris Wetz drops to 5th with 20. Cody Erdman, 18. And then down the order. I'm shaking. I didn't think that this weird oddball record would ever fall, and it has fallen tonight. You ready for some chats, Mr. Sawyer?
Sure thing. Who we got first?
We have our world champion, Kieran Lifflander. And my friend, I talk all the time about records falling, records breaking, and I thought that this weird record of nobody winning the 3rd race of the season would ever be broken. I remember Jacob Rafos was disqualified for not taking a second joker. I think we had Connor Parisi have a technical failure one season, couldn't take the grid, but you have finally broken the record. It is 3 on the bounce. Talk me through your race.
ran really well against Zach Blanche and got that win. The outcome was different, though, because Evan unfortunately wrecked lap 1 then, and we didn't get to battle it out last year, or exactly a year ago, if you will. And I just built off of that. And obviously, there's a bunch of different packages and car changing, or the cars are changing, and track temp being different, and everything's changed over the year, or over the past year. So got some seat time and made a couple changes, and then I started overthinking it, and I made a whole bunch of changes just for like half a tenth, and then I got into the session, and then I'm like a tenth slower than what I hit in the practice. So I was like, okay, let's just go back to what we had. Actually had a qualifying lap of a 40.69 on course with lap 1, and then I, for whatever reason, swung it wide, had to bring it back to the pits, fix it up. Lap 2 obviously went off track, and then lap 3 I completely like sandbagged sector 1, hit a 15 flat, and then had like a 26 flat second sector. So definitely would have out qualified Evan by a mile, probably like a couple tenths, maybe 3 tenths. And it's just another one of those things, here at the shop, we just got to work harder on the Q set, just the Q line. I mean, clearly we've got race pace. It's just the Q setups we gotta really work on. So obviously going to, I'm pretty sure Daytona Short it is. Me and Evan, I'm pretty sure in the past have been pretty even there. Last time we went there, I won, and that was way back in 2024 B, I believe. So, but yeah, I guess about the race, Heat 2 was just really solid, really consistent. The setup was a little bit free, so we had to tighten it up a bit for the obviously the higher track temp in the feature. And then I went to the feature. All I had to do was just get a good start, Kieran, lock in. Don't even worry about what position you're starting in. And obviously have my team on my outside. He held me pretty tight, and then he kind of gave me the room. And I guess Evan thought I was going to overshoot the corner, and I didn't do what I did in the heat and almost died. So thankful to be able to get away with that, and was able to hang on to it. And by about lap 3, I saw that high line was really working with me, and nobody else. I don't think anybody else ran it. And it was just all my line, all my fresh dirt. It was all tacky up there, and it got pretty slick towards the end. But by about lap 3 or 4, I was pretty confident I was going to win. So kind of coasted the last few laps. Obviously had the delta of 7 seconds. I guess Evan must have messed up on a joker or a post joker like the lap after. And then I just kind of didn't really strategize at that point. Just took the jokers when I needed to, and just kind of pushed towards the end, just enough to get a decent gap to win, and be comfortable up front. So yeah, really comfortable setup. Just just need to work on Q, I guess.
As one of the protagonists of our last, let's call it 5 seasons, right? And Brian and I have called all of these wins, whether they're you, whether they're Evan, whether they're Zach Blanche when you guys fall and stumble, Robbie Kirtley when he did that back in Crandon. And my thought is, and this might be an old man soapbox tangent during your interview, but you look at the stat books, right, and you see all of the races that have been run. I think we're going to do this live. I think it was race number 200. Oh, God, I don't have it, but we're going to figure it out live. It's race number, where did it go? Josh, you're really good at this. 297, okay? And over those 297 races, you've been a part of, let's call it 80 or 90, which the stats are ridiculous. What's the thought process from a relatively newer driver in this series to be climbing these ranks, obliterating these records, and you're third all time behind myself and Philip Kraus? That's, you figure, 15 NASA championships in the top 2. What's the thoughts behind that?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'll be here until that record gets broken. So I hate to break it to you, Josh. You better get back out on track if you want to keep that record up there. All jokes aside, it's really awesome and a pleasure, let me come on. We obviously had some history late 2023. I was a bit of a brat, if you will, and have tried to change, and I think it's worked. Racecraft has been better, got a team going, and everything under the sun has been really great overall. And I think this is the season that I've always needed to, the results this season thus far, from the lights to the supercars and the one cross car win we had. it's all come down from just hours of seat time and practice, and being able to show it in front of the little audience we have and anybody else that watches it in the near future. And yeah, it's definitely a pleasure, and I'm again happy to be able to break these records, and definitely will continue to do so. Looking to reach possibly 60 wins in the lights, and then maybe if it's possible, maybe we can arrange something. Maybe hop into the commentary booth if the lights are even still a thing in iRacing by the end of the year. Because I mean, arguably, I'd like to say I'm probably the best in lights at the moment, and I think I think after the one championship that I won in the lights, I think it's safe to say I should definitely hang it up whenever my time has come to decide mentally to hang it up, and yeah, focus on this more, get as many wins as possible, rack up and maybe surpass your record, and yeah, just keep breaking world records and getting faster and faster.
Well, I'm gonna hope that I don't even know. I don't want anything bad to happen, of course, but I want my record to stand. Nobody's gotten close. Who would you like to thank for win number 21, my friend?
Yeah, my mom, my dad. My dad just came in the room, gave me a massive high five. He was like, "I was praying for you in that long run, hoping you'd make it." I was like, "Man, I knew I was gonna make it." So gotta thank those two, my sister as well. Everybody at Team KLR that makes this possible. Everybody that ran tonight. Kevin, Darren, Daryl, Carter, Jonathan, Garth, and Jameson wasn't able to make it tonight, unfortunately. But everybody that makes this possible at Team KLR, all the support, all the help, being able to know and learn everybody's different driving styles, and it's a lot of learning. So I can't thank them enough for being around me and supporting and helping me become a better setup builder and leader overall. You guys are putting on the show yet again. I feel like Tyler Reddick right now. So yeah, it's definitely something. This isn't as emotional because it's a third week in a row I've been in here, and hopefully I can make it 4 in a row. And before we go over into the off week that we have halfway through the season. So yeah, I gotta thank all those people, and yeah, really excited to be able to soak this in. And we got to head over to the Corn State at Iowa Speedway and see if we can go back to back. And we ended off in Iowa last season in the Lights World Championship for me to get back to back World Championship. So let's see if we can make it 3 in a row back at Iowa in the place that I did it at last season. So yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, that is not only 3 wins from the beginning of the season, it is the last 6 wins in a row for you, my friend. Great win. Good luck Friday, and we will see you next Monday in Daytona.
See you guys.
All right, we're going to do things a little bit backwards because Kieran was the first one up. Mr. Evan McFarlane, it's happening more and more that you're finishing second, and I need to hear it from you. It looked like it was a little scrappy drive from you, kid. What are we thinking? How was the race?
I'll be straight up. The race was terrible. Did not drive how I should have been driving. I was better. I was great at the start, and just feel like I fell off midway, and just due to my own driving, partially the setup. But I'm not gonna make excuses. I was just honestly disappointed in myself. I think I should have trusted myself on that start. I built the setup to start on that temperature, but didn't trust myself on that start. And we, lost to Kieran there. And, yeah, I was there. I think I did a good Joker strategy, but when the track just wore in, it just didn't go well. And I just wasn't driving well. So, Kieran's won 3 in a row. Doesn't look good, to be honest, but I'm still confident. I still believe that I can still come out here and, come out and do my best. I just got to figure some things out. And yeah, just looking ahead, and we're gonna learn from this round for sure.
As there's 1 week until the off week, so Daytona short upcoming. I'm sure you've won there without the stat book in front of me. So what's the game plan going into next week, and then with that off week? Is there going to be lots of practice? You're going to do a reset for the last half of the season?
Yeah, I don't know. Game plan, I think just practice. Just dial in things, muscle memory, and just the starts. I think Daytona Short is a track that is really dependent on being precise and having a good setup when the track wears in, and well, not when it wears in, but when it gets hot. So I have a really good setup there, and I've done well there in the past. So I'm looking forward to that round. Even though I don't like the track, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, just gonna reset. Just gonna think, all right, we're we're like, I don't know, 3 rounds out of 8 or something, and we still got 5 left. So I mean, plenty of time. Actually, maybe not plenty of time, but we're still there, and I think that just gonna work on my starts and just reset. I think we're gonna do great.
You've got half the puzzle put together, kid. I mean, you've got every seeding round for the first 3 races. You've won all 3 heat races. And you've, aside from Winton because you crashed, you have finished second the last 2 weeks. So it's like, I would say it's like 75% of the way there, but I also understand where you're coming from. It's like, I got all these building blocks in place and stuff keeps happening to where I can't win the race. But we know you, 4-time consecutive champion. It's not like you've forgotten how to drive. You know how to drive. You know how to get it done.
No, I'm washed.
Listen, I'm the one that's washed, kid. Who would you like to thank for the P2 tonight?
Yeah, gotta give all glory to God. So thankful that He's put me in this position. Gotta thank Channel 199, Track Racer, Racecraft Academy, all the boys over there, Dixon Flannel, Black Rifle Coffee, and just gotta thank Matthew, Josh, and all the guys that for letting me hang out with them. Matthew was willing to work some Joker strategy with me. I mean, he drove a great race today, and he's a little down on himself, but I mean, yeah, that kid's just phenomenal. So just looking for the next round, and thank you guys for this broadcast.
Of course, buddy. Good run today. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. See ya.
Your former teammate, still kind of teammate, says you're a little down, my friend, and I can tell you after the cluster, insert the word you want to say, after that in the heat race and the semifinal, to sneak onto the podium is not a bad result. The championships are won on the bad days, and the good results will happen. This will be a building block of it. But talk me through your race from the crash in the heat to I think you crashed in the semifinal to the feature race in general.
Yeah, no, that heat race was pretty unfortunate to say the least. I knew I had to go out there and win it, so I wasn't letting nothing slide by, So I went for the move, but the main thing was just giving Carter as much room as he needed. But yeah, no, and ultimately in the end, it ruined about 3 cars races, and then someone, I don't even know who it was, got the win, but they got the win. But yeah, no, that was definitely unfortunate. I knew I had some pretty good race speed. My quality speed wasn't there, but my race speed was definitely there. I was, yeah, no, the heat race just sucked and set me back pretty far. And then going into the LCQ, I knew I had some really good speed, and was just slowly working my way back up, just being patient and stuff like that. But then I almost, in true fashion of myself, like I always do, I tend to make it harder on myself and take myself out of these races, and just a dumb move by me, just trying to push every limit that there is, and got the inside wall. We rebounded and stuff like that on the last lap. I pulled around a second. I don't even know who it was. I just knew it was a KLR car. But I pulled a second on him. Was able to take the Joker and make the main. The main event was eventful to say the least, starting down in 8th and getting up to 3rd, and I think the 1st or 2nd lap. Just wish I had 5 less cars to pass, honestly, because when I was hitting my marks right and stuff like that, I was on the same pace as Kieran, and sometimes faster than Evan, around the same pace as Evan. But yeah, no, I just wish I had 5 less cars to pass. It would have been a whole different story. It's just still trying to search for that first win in supercars here, and hopefully it comes soon somehow.
Well, I can tell you, and I know it's so much easier said than done, but I've had races where everything seems to go wrong, and you still finish on the podium, but you still can't help but be down on yourself. And I can tell you that you haven't forgotten how to drive. You've won a Contenders championship. You won all those races in that second split, and you'll get there, my friend. You've got the talent, you've got the pace, whatever it may be, and it seems so far away that it'll happen, or like it'll never happen. But I can guarantee you, one day, my friend, it will, because watching you recover from that incident in the semifinal was remarkable. Anybody else, aside from maybe Kieran and Evan being truthful, would have hit that wall and completely lost the transfer spot. And you held that, and you transferred in, and you still had a great race, all things considered. So don't, like I said, easier said than done. Don't be upset. Look at the results and say, hey, man, I got on the podium. It's been a hell of a race, but we still had that good result. So who would you like to thank for the P3 tonight, my friend?
Yeah, no, just adding on to that, just glad I was able to finally finish a race this season. It took 3 races. Lucky numbers 3. 3's on the car. That was just a little funny thing I thought. But yeah, no, finally got to finish an A main in this, whether it was being taken out or taken out myself. But, you know, I got to give a huge shout out to all the Team Watson guys and stuff like that. You know, even though the only practice laps I had coming up to this round was about 20 minutes after I got home from school. We were able to hold some decent pace, and you know, the sets were digging and stuff like that, like they always are. Huge shout out to Eric and James and all the guys at Team Watson, Track Racer, all my teammates, Jeff, Josh, Zach, both Zachs. You know, they're great teammates and stuff like that. Real appreciative and really supportive of them, and always proud of them. But yeah. We'll just keep looking forward to the next rounds and stuff like that. Hopefully getting as much practice as I can running 2 big leagues here with iRacing Short Course Series and NASA. Wish I had some more time to practice for both leagues, but you know, that's just life. But we'll keep just taking every chance we got, and I'd like to thank you guys for putting on another amazing, great season and another great stream.
All right, buddy. I appreciate that. And good race today. And we will see you next week in Daytona.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Mr. Sawyer. I think you got points and some upcoming programming. I'm going to give the reins to you so I could have some water.
Absolutely. You're allowed to drink. And here we go. Let's take a look at our schedule upcoming on ASN before we get into points to keep you all sitting around here. Next week, same time, same place as you were this evening. NASA Rallycross Contenders and the World Championships returns next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're kicking off Daytona Short Week. It's going to be a good one. Daytona Short, my favorite variant of Daytona. So super excited to watch that. After that, we're going to have an off week. We'll probably have an ASN Purge event. So if you want to participate, find us on everything. You know how to get to our Discord. And then we'll be back for Brands Hatch the following week. So Easter week, we're off. We'll have an event here. You can come race with us there. And we'll be back for that. But we'll go to points. Exiting this evening, Kieran Lifflinder with 68 points to Evan McFarland's 66. Drop weeks are interesting. Zach Goddard, 55, up 1 position. Carter Ghosh down, or they're tied. What am I saying? Tied for 3rd, Zach Goddard and Carter Ghosh. Matthew Lindy, 48 for P5. Josh Darnell up 3 positions to P6 overall this evening. Jonathan Harris up 3 positions to P7. Devin Hughes down 2. Eric Dubois down 1. And Jeff Cartwright down 3. Over in teams, Black Phantom 153, Subi Squad 145, Control Z 103 up 1 position, Channel 199 down 1 position, Aqua Storm, Slaypex Racing, Blue Thunder, Pink Fury, JC Sim Sport, and Team Dog Racing are your top 10. Manufacturers, nothing changed, 101, 42, and a big ol' 6.
At least Volkswagen has points.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Well, I just want to remind everyone that the NASA Rallycross World Championship on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap, no matter the track, car, or series. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams, and thank you to Andrew Cardinale IV for camera support all season. And also by Alex Abetti, the former world champion, producer of the official NASA Sim Racing theme music. If you like what you saw tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network, no matter the platform at ASN TV USA. If you ask Brian really nicely, you might get that dark web domain as well. If you'd like your content broadcasted by us, hit us up at asntvUSA.com. For any and all, we're looking for whatever. So if you want me to be screaming about cars going around a track, I don't even care if it's, I was going to think of like the slowest car. What? The mini stock? I don't care. It's phenomenal. Doesn't matter. asntvUSA.com. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2026. Stage rally, rallycross, cross car. We got some other stuff planned. NASASimRacing.com. Nearly 600 people in the Discord server. Come in, make some friends, have some fun. That's all it's about for NASA Sim Racing. Brian, give me a final thought, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Good race this week. A lot of racing the track. I think next week we're going to see a lot of racing each other. Easier track, but tighter racing. So looking forward to it.
Daytona is going to be a super fun time. Tonight, I agree, from the Contenders race to the World Championship race, it definitely was a lot of racing the track. We've seen a lot of mistakes the last couple of nights, and the last couple of weeks, rather, and I think these guys, they're pushing so hard to gain every little bit of time they can, and maybe they laser focus on them in the track. Who knows? Either way, it makes for some insane racing to watch. It's always a super fun time, and we had a lot of crashes. No flips, but certainly a lot of crashes tonight.
Flip counter was ready.
And that flip, well, listen, we got people listening. If they crash their car and they flip on the cast, you are featured on Brian's flip counter, and you might even have a telestrated flip counter if you can't get it up on the graphics right, but I digress. Either way, super fun time. Daytona's going to be awesome as well. As the checkered flag has fallen on the evening here in Charlotte. On behalf of our entire production staff, my name is Josh Mertz. We thank you for joining us for today's coverage of the NASA Rallycross Challenge, which includes Contenders and the NASA Rallycross World Championship. Congratulations to our Contenders winner, Kevin Garcia, and Atlanta Grand Prix winner, Kieran Lifflander. Both drivers have won the first 3 rounds of the season. It's happened before in Contenders, but for the first time in 14 years, the record has broken, and the kids continue to rack up the records. Be sure to join us next Monday for more NASA Rallycross in Daytona. But until then, so long, everyone.